In our previous practical on Java programming language, we have exhibited how loops are working. We've looked at a for loops, while loops, and do while loops. So today in this class, we are going to exhibit a practical on arrays and collections. We know array in Java are data structure that holds a fixed number of an element in the same type. So we are going to give example as far as practical concern. We already know the syntax of what? Of declaring an array while we are treating arrays and collections during our theoretical class. So we are also going to look at collections in Java. And we know in Java, collections are what? Are framework that provide us with an architecture in order to store, manipulate, and retrieve objects that we have stored in. So we are going to use this list.add in order to add list of items into what? Into our containers. So one commonly used of these collections is what? Arrays list, aside from what? From list.add that we use in order to add these elements into a what? A list. So for us to achieve this, also we need to import an array list from our Java library. Please follow me in this class as I take you through your practical session. So we are going to start with an array. And to do this, we know we are usually going to follow our normal routine of coming to our source, moving to our class, then we now type the name of our class as we know we are dealing with array, so array example. So let's get this one done. And then we have our array class being created, our main method is being declared and instantiate. So what we are going to do next is we know we are dealing with array. If we remember well, the syntax of our array is like we are having data type, the data type, then we instantiate with this angle bracket, sorry, not angle bracket, rectangle bracket. So we have our variables, then we have our list of elements that are going to be stored within that array. So doing that, we have ints because we are going to store number in that array. So we are having int, so we have our square bracket, then we have our variables. The variables we are going to declare here are going to be what? Numbers. So we are having we are assigning these into that, and then probably it's going to be 10, 20, 30, 40. Let's assume we have up to 50. So these are the variables that we are, or not the variables, these are the elements we stored in this very array. So what we are going to do next in printing the list of our element in an array, we need to employ the idea of the for loop. And we know our for loop, the syntax of our for loop is for, and then we have condition, then statement, right? So we are going to have it like this: for, and then we know we are dealing with what? With numbers, that's integers, right? So remember this int we declared here, or the variable we declared here as number, we declared it for what? For the element in an array. Are we together? So here now we are going to declare another variable called probably num, and that num are going to move through these numbers. Are we together? So numbers. So this is what we are having. Then we now open and close our curly braces. So we now have our printing statement, that is for statement, and then you have the result system dot out dot print. Next line. So we have our our element here. So the element is here. We are going to print all the elements in the list. So we'll come back to print each element using an index of this, but that time we are going to use a scanner object method. So here we are going to have the list of the element, the list in the element of an array in the element. So this is what we are going to have here. So we concatenate this with what? With the variables we declared inside the for loop list. The variable we declared inside the for loop, which is num, we concatenate it. Are we together? So we end this statement, this statement like this. So we don't have any issue. So but this is showing error, so thank God. So this is what we are having. Let's compile this and run and see the result. So boom, this is what we are having. As you can see, the list of an element in an array, the list of an element of an array. So if you don't wish to have that all this, so we can just have it like this, and then we remove this, then we compile it again and see the result. So this is what we are having. The lists are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and we know the size of this array is what? Is 4, not 5 as indicates here, because in an array normally the counting starts from what? From 0. So this is how you go about what? How you go about printing the list of an array or of an element in a given array. So what we are going to do next, we are going to look at collections, since we are looking at what? Arrays and collection in Java. So the next is what? We are going to look at the collections, so and see how we can use collections to add a certain data into it. So we can say collections example. So we include this also, and that's all. So we have this. So what we are going to do here in using our collections in Java, we know usually we have this in order to store a large amount of data by adding each element into what? Into a given container or into a given list. So that's what we are going to do here. So first of all, we are going to use what we call array list. So we are going, this array list, it's like we are declaring list into it. We are declaring list into this an array, and that list should contain what? Should contain what we call string using angle bracket. It's going to contain string as what? As a list. Are we together? As a list, which is going to be assigned a new array list that is going to instantiate a new array with open bracket. So that's what we have achieved here, but it's showing error. What is the essence of this error? So the essence of this error is, you know, we are using array list. So it means we need to what? We need to import this array list from what? From our library. So you can do that just by putting your cursor on this, so you can be able to see the pop-up menu, and here is the what? So you can be able to what? Import it here. As you see how we simplify things here, instead of us going up and be typing all these things, we just point at this and then select it. Just let me redo. I just point at this array, so it will pop up, then I will now click on it. So that's how we simplify that. So also we are done with our array list declaration. So what we are going to do next is we are going to use a list.add. A list.add has the ability to add items into the collection or into an array list. So this is list dot what? Dot add. That is the syntax. Are we together? So we have open and close bracket as usual. So this is empty. So now what are you adding? That is the problem. Are you adding a string or are you adding an integer?
or you are adding a boolean. So it depends, but here you need to know that you are adding what? A string. So definitely adding a string will include what? A double quote. So let's say we are adding a list of a program or a list of a programming language or a list of skills. Let's say we have a Python as a skill. So we end this statement. I will just copy and then be pasting. So the next is we have Java. The next list we have C#. The next is we have C++. Then the next one is, let's say we have JavaScript. So let me use this. I don't want to delete it. Add open and close bracket with your double quote. See this one. So we have JavaScript. So, and then let's assume these are the what? These are the list we have here. So these are the list we have in what? In this array list. So we are done with this. What we are going to do now, we are going to still employ our for loop, right? In printing these languages. Let's say we have for, we know the conditions, we know the syntax is for conditions, and that's a what? A string. So we are having the data type, just the same thing as that one. We have for int, then we have variable, right? So for string, that's the data type. Our variable is here as a language, which is going to contain a list in that. So we are going to have a statement, right? So the statement here, we want to print the list in this language. So system.out.print. So we have these languages, and this language is going to be inside this list. So this is the only thing we are going to print here, and that's all. So we end this statement and we don't have any error that is popping up here. Let's try to run this and see the output. So boom. So this is what we have as the list in our list of languages in this particular array list. That is an example, or a good example of what? Of a collections, and we have seen how the arrays work. So next we are going to look at how we can be able to at least print a certain element using an index in a given array. Thank you for being with us. Remain blessed.